Hello, Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New
we
Year.
Hey, hey,
we are
hey.
we are back. We are back. This is our first show in 2022, and wow, did we pick a zinger? Okay, so um, Shahrazad Ali. She's retired, but her school of thought is not retired because I've heard some more recent people actually speaking the same school of thought. But we're going to talk about that after you take a look at what we saw.
You say in your book there is no history of the black man settling down with one woman
Right.
and never desiring to have another before
Right.
slavery, during slavery, or after slavery.
That's
The black
just the
man
truth.
has never been recorded to have just one woman.
Right. Well, I think there's some actual facts we can look at on that. Monogamy has failed for the white man in America.
But this is like saying it's okay.
It's not me saying it's okay. This is how they're living. I'm giving you the history of what their life is. Black men haven't been waiting on me to tell them it's all right to have more than one woman. Neither have white men. This is just what they do. I'm not talking about fornication and adultery. I'm not talking about one night stands and running around rampant with other women. That's not the kinds of when I say more than one woman relationship. I mean that before we came to America, our men had more than one wife and family. And we were satisfied with it because we had not met the monogamy idea. We had not met the American white woman who, insists on certain kinds of values in her man. We had not learned envy and jealousy. All right. After coming here, those kinds of ideas were bred into us because of society and the mores that the Americans made up here. And so then we started to have problems with that. But I think that since it is apparent that most of them, not all of them, it's certainly up to the man, do love more than one woman. I got tons of mail. A lot of black men write and tell me that they have had two women for 5, 10, 15, and 20 years, and they can't even get the women to speak to each other. Sometimes they have two families,
Would I
two
want
sets of
to, but
children.
Shahrazad, would I want to talk to a woman who's sharing perhaps the bed and the money and the social life with who I would deem as my man?
If you want to deal in reality, and if you are not insecure, and if you don't think that that robs you of something, you would want to know them. If he loves her, you certainly should want to know her.
There are a lot of black women out there who say,
Oh, I know
"Sister,
they're mad about that idea. I understand,
that
And
would
that's
never
not
hold
easy.
water."
Wait a minute, that's not easy. And
Okay, I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. I had to stop it there. So, where do I begin? So, first of all, I think that this is an opinion and a school of thought. I know she's not alone. She definitely wrote a couple of books. One of them is The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. Um, I haven't read that book, but I can only imagine at this point. She is a retired writer and she has several other books that she has written. Um, and I do kind of vaguely remember this back in the day, probably while I was at college. Um, and my thoughts are, first of all, is that statement that is up to the black man, and I take exception with that because when we do deal with men having more than one woman, and I don't think that she's talking about them being married to more than one woman because then that would be polygamy and that's not even legal in most states. It probably is legal in other countries and a couple of states actually, or sections of states. But you know, this happens typically without the woman, whether white or black, knowing that it's going on. And so if it's so acceptable, then how come they don't make sure that that's the choice of the woman that's joining them? And so I take great exception with that because the way that she's talking sounds like she has taken out our choice of anything. And I totally disagree that there was no envy or jealousy before coming to this country. I'm sorry. I mean, those are emotions that exist, and I'm sure there is competition elsewhere in Africa and everywhere else on the planet. So I do not believe that was just learned in America. I think that that's something that is probably universal, but that was the culture, and that was something that was accepted, and there were pretty strict um, cultural backlash if you didn't go along with that. So I take exception that we were okay with it. So that's I'm gonna shoot it over to one of you because I got a lot to say about that.
Um, from what from what she said men had more than one wife. So that sounds like they were married to me, and that is polygamy. However, she's absolutely correct. Before coming over here to the United States, that is what a lot of African and even Middle Eastern cultures did. Some still do to this day have multiple wives, and it's perfectly okay. Um, so her facts aren't incorrect. Um, I don't want to say in all instances that the women were jealous. They probably weren't. That first wife was like, sure, let's pick the next wife together. Could have been. We don't know. That's that's probably what happened. And she also could be right that we did adapt what the quote unquote white women, I feel so racist when I say that. That we took on that thinking, that behavior, that it should be, a monogamous relationship. Because from my understanding, even during the slavery times, because wives and husbands were separated, some of those slave men had multiple women because of the separation and the culture. That's what they knew. That's what they did. So are her facts incorrect? I don't think so. Do I agree with it? Absolutely not. If my husband decided, oh, let me get me a side piece or another woman, and Kim, you should be okay with it, please believe I will have me a side husband and a side piece as well. And you need to be okay with it, because if you expect me to be okay with it, you're going to be okay with it too, because we're equal in this country for me. What do you say, Lavonda?
Well, I take exception with a whole lot of things that she said. I'm going to just hit the highlights today or right now. And if I have time, we'll come back around to it. The first thing, her question was, where do we get our definition of cheating? I get my definition of cheating from Webster's dictionary. And the definition of cheating is violating the rules of a contract or whatever it is you have agreed upon. So if you marry one person, and I'm saying that I'm marrying you, you marry me, and we are exclusive, then that is what I call cheating. Now, whatever they agreed upon before times and all that, but when you say to me, what is my definition of cheating? That is my definition of cheating. Any violation of our relationship or the rules that we have agreed upon inside of our relationship. And then I take exception to the fact that she made this statement and I wrote it down. It just really hit me in the face. White women insist on certain standards of their men. We black women don't insist on certain standards of their men. I mean, she started this whole black women, white women thing as if the only reason why we wanted our men to be monogamous was because of white women's men. They expected their men to be monogamous. So it's like we can't have certain standards for ourselves unless it was done by the white man before. I don't know where she gets her facts from. I have not studied her. I've not researched her and the history of monogamy and what they did in other countries. I have heard that there are multiple wives in other countries, but for me, in this particular situation, when she's talking specifically about cheating, then that is somebody who's being deceptive. And like, I don't know which one of you said, but if it's so widely accepted, then why do you have to hide this? And why does the woman have to find out 8, 9 years later? She talked about outside children. Well, that brings on a whole host of other issues because that affects the children as well. So I just take issue with a lot of things that she said, whether it be, factual base of old times or whatever. But cheating, the very definition is a violation of the rules of the relationship.
Yeah, so I agree with that, and I know what, some of, yes, in Africa, yes, they had more than one wife, and maybe not even all of the cultures in Africa did that, and so that was accepted. But I agree with Dr. Cheryl that just because it's accepted doesn't mean that it was okay. Those things are not mutually exclusive, and so they went along with it because that was the culture at the time. This is not our culture. Wherever we got it from, it's not our culture right now. And it's illegal to actually be married to more than one person, like I said, in more than one state. So, yes, they were married in Africa and in the Middle East and different things, and some of those that still goes on. And like I said, even I think at least one state, I think it would be Utah, where the Mormons actually have more than one wife. They can have more than one wife, and still some of them may choose not to have more than one. But I very seriously doubt that jealousy and envy did not exist before, you know, and so I don't think that it's okay. And I think that if it's going to be okay, surely we have actually cultures now that have what they call open marriages, where those things that's been agreed upon, and still within the groups of people that have agreed upon doing that, and that's their agreement in the relationship, things still happen to where it's not okay. And that's because then there's competition or something happened, somebody feels like they're being left out, whatever the case may be, that it gets to not be okay. So yeah, for me, I don't agree with what she's saying. I think that it's a way to justify what exists right now. And yeah, those things exist. Yes, some men have more than one woman. They have a wife and a mistress, or another woman. And some of them are. I actually am very aware. I grew up with some friends, and I could have sworn that this lady was this man's wife, and she wasn't, but she was the only one I ever saw at functions and what have you at our extended family's home. He was actually married to somebody else, but it was years, like it was 20 plus years that they had a relationship. So that's kind of odd. I didn't even know that he had somebody that was actually his wife. I thought that that woman was his wife. But anyway, so that's, I don't know. There's a lot here.
I mean, I feel the same way as Alana. I haven't had the chance to really research um, this lady. I don't even know how to say her name. This lady and whatever she's talking about. This flamity flam that she's talking about with what is so my thing is I can't even get it out because again, like I said, I don't think her facts are incorrect, which predates before the death of Jesus. I mean, we're now it's 2022 at the time it was 1980 something, whatever. Um Around the time where women were trying to be more independent anyway, but don't nobody want to share the husband, and ain't nobody, no culture is trying to accept the fact that, oh, my man is cheating. You sound just as foolish as you look. Didn't say that, but I'm just saying. And the guy, and the reason why it's brought back up because the men right now are raving about it. Oh my God, y'all need to listen. Okay, I'm gonna listen. Like I said, I'm gonna listen, and I'm gonna keep listening, and I'm gonna take what she said, and I'm gonna flip it. Since you want to be out here, well, guess what? You better watch out for the pool boy because me and him might be. That's all I.
Right. And I agree with you, Kimberly, 100%. That's the other thing that's so offensive. The idea, like she said, I wrote this down too. There's never been documentation that a black man has never desired to be with only one woman. Who's to say we desire to be with only one man? Like you're the one that can have desires outside of your marriage. The point is, you made an agreement to be with just one woman. You can have desires. You're going to have desires. They don't go away because you get married. But what entitles a man to the right to have more than one wife, and a woman can't have more than one husband or partner? That's how insulting. Who initiated that policy? She talking about, it's never been in history. Where's the history books on women having more than one man? Because I think that is in other cultures too. I actually saw a movie, a documentary where they were talking about that too. I need to go back and research that. But why is it so one-sided?
Oh, you need to send that title.
Yeah.
Cleopatra, she had two men fighting over her.
See, I know what I was talking about. Thank you, Kimberly. So why does it have to be just men having more than one woman? That's very one-sided.
Yeah, it definitely accentuates the double standard for sure. And surely the main book, and I don't know if I can work up to read it, but it was about women being submissive. And I think that that's a tricky word because in the Bible, it means something different from what it has been interpreted to mean. And submissive actually equals love in the Bible when you look back at meanings and what have you. But because of how people interpret to feed what they want, then it means something else. And she accentuated that in the book from what the little excerpt of summary that I read about her. So I'm going to see if I can work it up to like read some of it. I may not get through all of it, but I'm going to go search it out. I don't know that I'll pay money for it, but I'll go find it somewhere. I'm not sure if the library is going to have it. I'll see how that goes. And TK Walker says she needs to be on this show to talk about this. Ms. Walker, you have a lot to say, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
I can hear your voice already.
Say I'm lying.
No, I ain't lying. So so this is we're going to do a part 2 of this because certainly I'm pretty sure we're going to get some feedback here. Especially anybody that's going to do the replay and listen and say, what are they doing on that show? We respected that show before. What are they playing on there? No, calm down. But I did, I think Mr. Fleming sent us another video of someone that is very recent in this day and time talking about a similar thing, not necessarily more than one woman, but about disrespect to the Black man by the Black woman. And so that is like a hot topic these days. Really
quick, let me ask, why do they feel so disrespected? Like, I'm thoroughly confused. Like I'm really thoroughly confused why men feel so. Can someone put in the chat, why are men these days feeling so disrespected? You have a woman out here who's trying to be equal, bring home the bacon so you can also bring home with 2 incomes. They should be happy about that. They still cook it, take care in the house. Why and how do you feel so disrespected? I'm just confused.
I think we should look a couple of things up. Yeah, we can look up a couple of things and when we circle back in a couple of weeks on that topic, because I think we'll have to take a breather between this particular topic and our next topic next week, so that we can all catch our breath. Faith says they're not grown up.
And you know what? And when they didn't feel disrespected, that was during the time where women were at home all the time playing mama. We don't do that. You have a mom.
I mean, it's all about a choice, right? So somebody may choose to do that. And so I think that that's my biggest problem is that she's saying she clearly said it's up to the man. Mm-hmm. And so to determine whether or not he's going to have more than one woman, and that we should be okay. Otherwise, we're going to be living in a hell trying to really.
Yes. She did say that.
Anyway, yes.
Is she still alive? She's still alive.
Yeah, she's still alive. She's retired.
That's again. I'm going to do more in depth
Yeah.
with this.
Yeah. So, well, we thank you guys. I know you all have, I know we have probably steam coming out of some ladies on here that are watching, but we thank you all for watching. Definitely, it's the new year. And we want to tell you all, we love doing the show. We appreciate all the responses that we've gotten up until this point, and we want you all to be healthy. So we're like feeding your mind here. We're kind of stimulating your thoughts and your emotions too. But we have these great products that are helping people. And so if you want to find out about them, definitely either comment or inbox one of us, and we'd be happy to share. And you could actually ask for a sample. Like, we're feeling super generous, like Christmas, like just flowed over into January, and we're feeling super generous about giving samples. So please just put it down in the comments, or like I said, inbox us, and our contact information is there too. So you have lots of ways that you can get in touch with us and get your free sample. All right.
Oh, really quick, we got to tell Patricia Ryan's happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Patricia.
Patricia.
Thank you for being a consistent viewer of Serendipity. We appreciate you.
Yes, she is a regular for sure. So, all right, ladies. Well, go ahead. I'm going to give y'all some time to calm down, cool down, and we'll be back next week on Wednesday at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, 8:30 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right. You all take care and have a good night. Bye-bye.